Government given 24 hours to respond to Nahawu's demands in the Northwest Province as health workers continue their strike. The SAA board fails to present their latest financial results to Parliament after objections to a closed meeting by opposition parties. Good evening, this is eNews at 8. I'm Sally Burdett. To our top story, Minister in the Presidency, Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma, has released her preliminary findings into the troubled Northwest Province. The report by her interministerial committee is what prompted the decision by Cabinet last week to place the province under administration. The health system is ailing and there have been violent protests calling for Premier Supra Mahumapilo's removal. Dlamini-Zuma says the Justice and Crime Prevention Cluster must now be given time to investigate claims of corruption in the province. She says they won't be afraid to lay charges if necessary. Our reporter Samkela Masego attended the briefing in Lichtenburg today.
The JCPS is investigating, and they are going to investigate anything and everything that is given to them to investigate. And they are going to then charge whoever needs to be charged if they find that somebody needs to be charged. So that's what is going to happen.
Dlamini-Zuma also says she does not want to answer any questions regarding the support she received from Premier Supra Mahumapelo towards the ANC's 54th National Conference.
I don't really want to answer the question you've asked, in the sense that I was never backed by government and we're here on a government mission. That's the only reason I'm not going to answer it.
Samkelo Masego, Lichtenburg, Northwest.
Well, that committee is asking for more time, but they have been set a deadline of 24 hours by Nahawu. The National Education, Health and Allied Workers Union says it will shut down the entire country if it does not get a favourable response to its demands in the Northwest. The union marched to the province's legislature today, demanding better management of the health department. Zikona Chona has the story.
The National Education, Health and Allied Workers Union is drawing attention to healthcare workers' plight in the Northwest. Hundreds marched in solidarity with medical workers in Mahikeng. Their call is simple: end corruption now. Health workers in the province have downed tools for a third week now, demanding Premier Supra Mahumapelo's resignation. They say his leadership has enabled maladministration in the provincial health department. But Nahawu says this is just the beginning.
8 provinces are a problem. We are not paid our money, we are not paid our assessment, we are not paid things that we are entitled to. We want to tell those who think that we are lapdogs, we are desk of the government, that you're wrong. We are going to fight.
Health Minister Aaron Motsoaledi received the union's memorandum of demands. He says he was sent by the interministerial committee set up by the Presidency to take control of the province following protests. Nahawu says it's giving the interministerial committee 24 hours to respond to its demands, or it's threatening a national shutdown. Workers in the province will not return to work until they've received a response.
Moving now to Cape Town, and it was a bumpy ride in Parliament today for the top executives of SAA and SA Express. This after the SAA CEO and board were told to go back to Pretoria after their plan to present their turnaround strategy in secret was grounded. SA Express management has admitted the airline is technically bankrupt and won't be able to keep flying unless it receives a massive cash injection from Treasury. Annika Larson reports.
SAA's turnaround strategy and quarterly financials were meant to be presented to the Portfolio Committee on Finance in a closed meeting today. SAA had made this request because it said their presentation contained commercially sensitive information. It's highly irregular and unusual for committees to be closed, and so the DA objected, forcing the acting chair of the Portfolio Committee on Finance to cancel the meeting and for SAA executives to be sent home to Pretoria without making their presentation. But the problem came in then when the DA left the meeting with SAA's commercially sensitive documents. And now Deputy Minister of Finance, Mondli Gungubele, is trying to get those documents back to give them to SAA. Just further down the corridor, more problems, this time for SA Express, presenting its report to the Portfolio Committee on Public Enterprises. Its executives admitted that it's technically insolvent, it's bankrupt, and unless it gets a massive cash injection from government, it's not going to be able to carry on operating. It's lost 40 pilots and technicians who have worries about job security and are sometimes too scared to fly their planes in case they're not technically sound. They've also spent 400 million in wasteful expenditure. Chairperson of Public Enterprises, Lungi Qabashe, told executives, "The honeymoon is over. We cannot carry on giving you money. Make a plan or shut up shop." Annika Larsen, Parliament.
President Cyril Ramaphosa is not backing down over suspended SARS Commissioner Tom Moyane. He's refusing to foot Moyane's legal bills when he faces a disciplinary commission of inquiry. The Presidency says there's no legislation related to SARS that stipulates the state should pay for an employee's legal fees. Nicolaus Bauer reports on what seems to be a president pushing for more personal accountability from public officials.
A showdown is looming at SARS. President Cyril Ramaphosa is playing hardball with Tom Moyane as the under-fire SARS commissioner faces a disciplinary inquiry. The duo has been at loggerheads since March after Ramaphosa suspended Moyane. The president felt he was no longer fit to lead the revenue service.
We do find it unfortunate that Mr. Moyane has felt that it was necessary to ventilate his issues in the media instead of using platform that has been created for him to go raise all grievances that he has against the process. But nonetheless, the president has pointed out that there is nothing unfair in terms of what it is proposed.
Moyane requested the terms of reference for his disciplinary to be headed by retired Constitutional Court Judge Cato Regan be changed and for SARS to pay for his legal counsel. Ramaphosa rejected both requests. SARS is a critical state institution. If South Africans don't have faith in the taxman, government may find it difficult to meet their revenue targets. Analysts believe for this reason, Ramaphosa must be tough.
He has a new theme, Tumamina, that whoever wants to serve the public diligently, he will call on those people to act. So he must lead by example and show that he will not tolerate any impropriety, that everyone who is suspected of having done something wrong must be dealt with urgently.
Moyane's lawyer, Eric Mabuza, chose not to comment on the latest developments, saying his client's strategy will become clearer in the days to come. Nicolaus Bauer, Johannesburg.
Still ahead on eNews at 8, the Gaza border remains tense this evening with reports of more clashes between Palestinians and Israeli soldiers. This as the holy month of Ramadan begins tomorrow. The buses may be back on the road, but today Metrobuses, which were not part of the nationwide strike, were under pressure. Commuters say the government-owned Metrobus company is never on time. Protesters obstructed traffic around Gandhi Square in downtown Johannesburg this morning. Bus management is now promising to take swift action to improve services. Our reporter Lindo Kuhle-Xulu was in the thick of the demonstration.
These commuters are fed up. They say the tardiness of Metrobus drivers could cost them their jobs.
Every morning we must be phoning the depot. Where is our bus? No bus. We stand from 6:30 till 20 to 8 for a bus.
We have a problem like this every day. So a bus didn't come at 6 o'clock, a bus didn't come at 6:15, a bus didn't come at 6:30. So we decided to block the buses that leave here. Double deckers are filled with only 6 people. And then we're standing there from 5:45. It's cold. It's cold. You can't be paying for buses and not getting any service.
Overcrowding in the buses has also been highlighted. Metrobus acknowledges the problems, saying it needs more buses. It adds the recent strike in the industry added to its woes.
We've got a serious challenge of buses at Metrobus. We're not able to provide or meet the needs and the demands of our commuters because most of our buses are old and breaking.
Metrobus is now promising to put more buses on the roads.
We've got an immediate plan that is to bring back our double-deckers. We've got a bus refurbishment project where we bring back at least 40 double-deckers back to the road.
Metrobus management plans to meet with commuters again on Friday to discuss their concerns. Lindokuhle Qulu, Johannesburg.
Move over fingerprints. How about facial recognition and iris recognition? The Home Affairs Department is being catapulted into the digital age and they're promising quicker service and shorter queues. Home Affairs Minister Malusi Gigaba today launched the new automated biometrics identification system. Leanne Jansen reports from Cape Town.
Frustratingly long queues and inefficient staff have for long been a thorn in the side of the Home Affairs Department. Now, with the recent launch of the War on Queues campaign, comes yet more digital transformation. The automated biometrics identification system will replace the current Home Affairs National Identity System.
I've heard many times someone say to me, there is no more hate than where once there was love. We don't hate honeys. We just accept that, like all good things, it's time up.
It will use facial, iris, palm print and baby footprint technology to streamline the identification of citizens and tourists. The new system will not only benefit Home Affairs, though.
The Department of Home Affairs, through the data it collects of South Africans, the database we keep, the solutions we have for identifying South Africans, will become a key enabler for all government departments, for the Statistics South Africa, to know exactly how many children are born, for Department of Social Development to know exactly how many children were born this year that are born of poor households.
ABIS is scheduled to go live by March 2019. Leanne Jansen, Cape Town.
International news and the latest from the Gaza border. Clashes between Palestinians and Israeli soldiers continue. The diplomatic row over Israel's actions has also intensified. On Monday, at least 58 Palestinians were shot dead by Israeli forces. Life is becoming increasingly difficult for ordinary Palestinians, as journalist in the region Waji Abu Darifa explains.
You know, the situation in Gaza right now, it's the same like the days before 14. There are some clashes in the east of Gaza Strip, but you know, tomorrow it's the start of Ramadan. The month of Ramadan is the holy month for the Muslims. So the people are waiting for Ramadan under this siege. You know how much difficult the life is in Gaza. Only 4 hours a day we have electricity. The border closed from the both sides, from the Israeli side and from the Egyptian side. The situation, the economic situation is very, very bad. The poverty is more than 45%, and in the last months there are not enough money for UNRWA to support people and to support the poor family. So the situation is the same. It's very difficult everywhere, and it's more difficult in the border because the Israeli is shooting all the time, and they are shooting a tear gas, and it will continue. We have no options.
Let's recap your top stories. Government has been given 24 hours to respond to Nahawa's demands in the Northwest Province as health workers continue their strike. The SAA board fails to present their latest financial results to Parliament after objections to a closed meeting by opposition parties.
Good evening, everyone. The north coast of KwaZulu-Natal has received well over 100 millimetres of rain in the last day and a half. And while we expect the heavier rainfall to come to an end, showers will still be affecting the area on Thursday. It will be a foggy morning for some parts of the Highveld, including the northern Free State and some areas in Gauteng. Later on in the day, a couple of showers drift towards the southern parts of Mpumalanga, but it's still going to be a warmer day all across the region. Let's take a look at the detailed forecast, and the western parts of the country will see another sunny and warm afternoon. 26 as a high for Alexander Bay, Springbok, as well as for Prieska in the Northern Cape. The Western Cape will be warmer as well, temperatures in the mid to upper 20s for most areas, slightly cooler towards the Overberg with a bit of cloud affecting the region, and it's going to become windy between Cape Agulhas and Cape Point. The Eastern Cape can expect a lovely warm afternoon with sunshine all across the province, but temperatures will be dropping below freezing point overnight for the areas around the Drakensberg. Showers affecting central and northern KwaZulu-Natal on your Thursday. We are expecting lighter rain in the area, and along with that, temperatures are also going to be a little bit higher. Very similar for Mpumalanga. Ermelo now reaching a high of 17 degrees, but there could be a few showers reaching the area during the course of the afternoon. No rain for Limpopo under partly cloudy skies. It's going to be a warm day all across the province. And in the northwest, with increased sunshine, we'll also see an increase in temperatures, 24 degrees as a maximum for Mahikeng. Crossing over into the Free State, sunny and dry once again for Bloemfontein at 22 degrees for the afternoon, and some cloud cover hanging around for Harrismith with a maximum of only 19. And finally for Gauteng, we don't expect any rain. You will see increased sunshine in this area, and Johannesburg finally getting to a high of 20 degrees. Let's move ahead to your forecast for Friday, and we're going to have mostly dry weather over South Africa, but a few light showers could be lingering in KwaZulu-Natal. And on Saturday, we're going to see dry and mild weather on the Highveld, but stormy conditions starting to develop in the far western parts, and there could even be a few showers reaching Cape Town by evening.
And finally, forget politics and sport. Today, internet users were at loggerheads for a different reason. Google Translate has sparked a debate over one word that sounds completely different. Is it Laurel or is it Yanny? Now that question divided our newsroom today. Miyashni Pillay has the story.
It all started with this dress. The internet couldn't decide if it was black and blue or gold and white.
Laurel. Laurel.
Now this Google Translate clip is confusing users' ears. No one's entirely sure what it actually says, but people are either hearing Yanny or Laurel.
Laurel.
Yanny.
Laurel.
Laurel!
So you're hearing both?
I'm hearing both, yeah.
The reason people hear different things is there are two overlapping sound waves with different frequencies.
It's Yanny.
Laurel.
Okay, I definitely hear Yanny.
Laurel. It's Yanny. Laurel.
You're hearing Laurel?
Yeah.
Another one for Laurel.
Yanny. Laurel. Yes, Laurel. It's definitely Yanny.
No, neither.
I hear Laurel.
Laurel.
Yanny.
Yanny.
Laurel. Laurel.
Yeah, Yanny. Definitely.
You'll either hear Laurel or Yanny depending on which frequency your brain picks up more. Our newsroom isn't immune to the controversy.
Laurel.
Also hearing Laurel.
Laurel. How's that even? You're kidding me, right?
I'm hearing Laurel.
No.
How's that even sound like?
Yanny.
It's Yanny.
It's Laurel. It's Laurel.
So, Apple, I know you don't wash your ears, but if you bothered now and again to wash them, you would clearly hear Laurel.
No. No, that's Yanny.
You also don't.